Angry guy here, and Western women are worried that men are leaving dating behind. Someone Western women are worried that men are leaving dating behind. I mean, this is only one of many signs that men are winning. Okay, men are winning. We're gonna jump straight into this because we need to see it.
Men out there are not too keen on tying the knot. Apparently, they don't see any perks in putting a ring on it. And can you blame them? These days, it feels like women have a reason to be loyal or even halfway decent partners. I mean, they can cheat, file for divorce, take half the guy's assets, and still come out smelling like roses. Talk about a sweet deal. Of course, not every woman is a backstabber or a gold digger, but the game's rules are crystal clear. It's like walking through a lion's den to get to your pot of gold. This simple explanation does a great job of describing how many men think. Why risk it when you can find happiness without anyone else's help? Let's be honest, men are just wired to be independent creatures who can conquer the world solo. If a guy gets his act together, he can thrive on his own like a boss. And sometimes he loves it so much that he'll do anything to keep it that way. But hear me out, my peeps. I'm a firm believer that you should steer clear of the whole hookup culture shenanigans. Sure, it's only natural to want to spread your seeds and indulge in a bit of polygamy. But it's not exactly a noble act to sleep around with a bunch of different women just so you can brag about it later. Like, seriously, where's the connection to marital bliss? As a result of degeneration, women these days have turned into unbearable creatures who can't cut it as wives. And
It's so hilarious. It's such a great point. Like women have turned into unbearable creatures who can't cut it as wives, and the irony is that, in many ways, it puts men in somewhat of a superior position because a lot of young men did not sleep around. The vast majority of young men have not slept around the way young women have slept around, and it doesn't affect men the way that it affects women because women, for every, every woman that a man sleeps with, he's had to either pay for it or he's had to work hard to get it. So he still had to pay for it, even if he men have to pay for it one way, or one way or another. We always pay for it. It's never free for us. Okay. Women, on the other hand, they go from guy to guy to guy, and after a while, they can no longer pair bond because they look back at every guy before the other guy, and they compare every guy to the other guy, and they ultimately say that this guy was better at this, but that guy was better at this, and no guy is ever good enough.
apparently, men have become the ultimate hunters, chasing after any girl who catches their eye. But here's the catch, women. If you've already been around the block a few times, your chances of landing a good man decrease faster than a melting ice cream cone on a hot day. And some
It's amazing how these women seem to believe that with their body counts in like the triple digits, they're going to find a man. They're going to find a man that's. See, this is the reason why these black women and even white women are going furious, getting so furious at the password bros. They're not trying to stop the password bros from leaving because they've already left. What they're doing is not even directed at the password bros. It's directed at the beta male orbiters, at the simps that are hovering around them, and letting them know that they better never ever even think of doing what the password bros have done because they will shame them, they will destroy them, they will do whatever it takes to defame them if they ever think about that. Because these simps, these orbiters, are all that they have left. If these men stop orbiting these women, they have nothing. They can't pay their bills. They have nothing left. They have no social security. They have no security. They have no finance. They have nobody. They are all alone, and eventually their friends too will abandon them.
women out there are so bold that they'll flaunt their connections to every Tom, Dick, and Harry in sight, including the club manager and a bunch of other men who are up for a good time. But let's be real, guys, even if you're interested in getting frisky with her, hearing all that might make you want to run for the hills. I mean, who wants to deal with a girl who's got a whole army of exes?
The irony about this entire thing is that the guys hook up with these girls, then look down upon them. Like you go and hang out with the same guy that hooked with the girl that turned you down, and you're like, "So how was she?" And this dude's like, "Bro, you didn't miss out on anything. She was fucking lame, dude. She was fucking lame. I just banged her a few times, and then got her, and then left her. And like here you are like sipping for this. Like seriously, like it's so it's so ridiculous. It's like so ridiculous because sometimes you'll meet the guys who are like fucking these girls and they don't even like them. They'd rather hang out with you and talk shit. Because men are men at the end of the day. That's really it. And the thing is, like the guys who these girls are going after, these guys ultimately are not even, they may be good looking, but or have certain qualities, but they're not marriage material in many cases. Because what these girls ultimately need are stable men, the nice guys, men that have their shit together, Plan B guys. And now these women are seeing that the Plan B guys are taking off and going overseas and finding wives overseas. If they want a white woman, they're going to Eastern Europe because they're going to go to these shitty Western countries where white men have wiped the asses of white women for generations to the point that these women now feel like they're superior to them. No, they're going to go to Eastern European countries where women still value men because they know that men have value. They value men for not just providing but for protecting, and they still value traditional gender roles, unlike the Western European devil. So the Western, well, yeah, unlike the Western devil, or I'll phrase it that way. What's the best way to put it? The Western devil is that right, or the Western she devil? The Western she devil. I like the Western she devil. You know, we all have to be very careful. White men are responsible for what's happening in white countries. They gave these women too much power, too much privilege, specifically the simps, and now these women think that they are superior and better than the men, while claiming that they are victims of these men. So they are now powerful victims. All right, powerful victims. But ironically, men have been walking away for generations. They've been going overseas for generations, for decades and decades, maybe over 100 years. This shit might even go back to the 1800s. I don't know. But men have been walking away, especially white males, have been walking away for a long time. And we didn't know this was happening, but now it is accelerating as a result of feminism, as a result of all the shit that men have gone through in society. See, women basically had it good for the last couple of decades. Men have been suffering terribly for the last 20, even 30 years. I mean, going back to the 90s was was the last bearable decade dealing with women. After the 90s, it was just over. Women became absolutely unbearable to deal with. We've had the last 20 years have just been outright horrible. I remember things started to really go downhill a number of years ago when there was this accusation made by this woman at I cannot remember the name of Duke University. That was one of the that was one of the moments that I realized that when things were really taking a shift, where women were making accusations that weren't true and destroying the lives of men. And despite the fact that the woman involved was discredited, she basically wasn't punished for it. But the men involved, their reputations were severely damaged. The university had to pay out tons of money, and the prosecutor involved was disbarred for all I heard, for what I understood. And then the woman who accused them later on, she ended up going to jail because she tried to unalive, or she successfully unalived her a partner that she was seeing. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous. And then it just continued to accelerate from there, where more and more women basically, started coming out and making accusations against men and posting that on social media, many of which were not true and unsubstantiated. But using social media, they were able to destroy the lives of these men and gain loads of money as well as fame for themselves and validation. And then hashtag Me Too happened, and we saw exactly where that went. It was literally about power and money and privilege, and that's all there was to it. Fast forward, years after hashtag Me Too, and it's still going. Women are still trying to play this game, but men have wisened up. And the problem is that the fact that men have wisened up, now women are going everywhere and anywhere they can to attack men. They're going to gyms and they're attacking men who they're claiming are glancing at them. Oh my gosh, he looked at me at the gym. He looked at me. And in some cases, these women are actually getting kicked out of the gyms for their behavior because men are doing everything they can to avoid them. And now these women are realizing that, everything is crashing around them, and all they have left are those beta male simps that'll still, pay for their meals, help them with their rent, and protect them. And those orbiters are basically more and more seeing that, like, oh, wait a minute, We can go overseas and find a chick. We don't have to hang out. We don't have to hang out with this basic bitch anymore. And they are scared to death because of what the Passport Bros have done. And as a result, they're basically trying to shame the Passport Bros. They're trying to say that these men are going over there to groom children, that these men are they're going over there to traffic. And I read this earlier that this is not the first time they did this. They tried this shit back in like the early 2000s and even the 90s or even in the 80s. They tried defaming these men when they first started doing it, and it worked. But now it's too late because too many men have done it, and they've successfully done it, and it's a movement now, and these women cannot stop it. They can try, but they cannot stop it. And men are walking away from society, or walking away from gynocentrism, and they are not fucking looking back. With that said, guys, if you're enjoying these videos, you need to subscribe to the channel. I don't know what's going on with you guys. Subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and turn on notifications to never miss another video again. And also, I have my page. If you want to support me, you can support the channel on Patreon. There's a ton of great bonus content on Patreon. I'm gonna go ahead and play the ad again for you guys, I know how much you love that, and then we'll continue some more. Hey guys, I just want to show you some of the great exclusives you can find on patreon.com/angryguy. We have new videos such as passport grannies are using poor blokes for sex overseas, hero dad unalives a pedophile, people are still living in extreme fear of COVID, leftover women are growing, and of course, 7 kids by 7 baby mamas. Tyrone is a menace. This is a video that was too hot for YouTube. And we have other videos as well that are exclusive to our Patreon members. So go ahead and check out Patreon, patreon.com/angryguy. The link is in the description of the video. Enjoy. Women have priced themselves out of the sexual marketplace, and they don't even realize it, but they're starting to realize it. The wall is real, and they are, modern women are worried men are leaving the game. They're worried that men are leaving dating, and they have every reason to worry about that because men are turning their backs on Western society. They're going MWA, walking away from Western society and Western women, and they are not looking back.
Lurking around. It makes the guy trying to woo the woman feel like he's in competition. When a man thinks he's got some competition for a woman's attention, it can really get his gears turning, if you know what I mean. And let's keep it real, he's probably not thinking about putting a ring on it just yet. Nope, at that moment, his mind is likely focused on some more primal urges. Now, back in the day, being a virgin was like a badge of honor for the women. But these days, if a woman has been around the block a few times, she might get some side-eye from people. Some guys even warn each other about tying the knot with a woman who's got a history. It seems that some women have become accustomed to playing multiple roles in their daily lives, and as a result, they find it refreshing to take a break from all of that and simply enjoy being the focus of attention. Meanwhile, some men engage in a competitive mindset when it comes to sexual encounters. In response to the challenges of modern dating and marriage, some men have taken matters into their own hands by either seeking opportunities elsewhere or developing strategies to navigate the current dating landscape. However, men in the West are facing some serious challenges when it comes to finding love and tying the knot. And it's not just about some fancy schmancy laws or regulations. Nope, it's all about the way modern women think these days. Many men are struggling to connect with modern women who, despite achieving parity with men in areas such as education, employment, and housing, still desire more.
You see, they want men that are better than themselves. Nothing is enough for them. They want a man that makes more than them. They want a man that covers all the bills. They want a man who has also a great job title, and then they also want to make their own money, but they also don't want to do but on top of that, they don't want to do the bulk of labor in the house. They want the men to help to do 50-50 or more, and these women also don't want to cook or clean because they view cooking and cleaning as slavery. They'll literally tell you that cooking and cleaning is slavery. So what is a woman's role? What is a woman's role in the home? To simply be there. Because she's basically the prize, and the man is there to serve her. This is absolutely ridiculous, and this is another reason why men are walking away from Western women and Western society, going overseas, finding quality women, and living higher quality lives. Here's the irony: women in the Philippines, they're going to cook for themselves anyway. So they cook for their man. They're going to do laundry anyway. So they do laundry for their man. They have to clean their homes anyway. So they clean their home. So they're cleaning for everyone. It's not a big deal. You know, they're going to sleep in a bed anyway. So they sleep next to a man. So guess what? They're going to do when they wash the sheets. It's not like you're doing extra work. But these women are so lazy today that they don't want to do any of this. They don't want to clean their own homes. They don't want to wash their own clothes. They want laundry services to do this shit for them. They don't want to buy food. They want to order out every single night and eat out whenever they can. And they want to live these carefree, easy lives where everything is delivered to them. Modern women don't have the skills to raise children anymore or to take care of a husband because they can barely take care of themselves. And that's going to be very interesting as society continues to go downhill. Men walk away from society, and women find themselves with fewer opportunities in society as greedflation continues to set in. It's not going to get easier from this point. It's only going to get more difficult because, like I said, we are entering a new ice age. Kevin Samuel said, "Ladies, winter is coming," and ironically, he's going to get the last laugh from his grave. But it's much worse than that because it's not just any simple winter. It's a new ice age. And as I've said, guys, if you're watching the videos, like, share, and subscribe for more great content because, you know, a lot of you aren't subscribed. And also turn on notifications, never miss another video again. I want to link this video in the description of this video, the one we're watching here. So if you want to watch the full video, you can check it out for yourself and decide, you know, what's going on with modern women and why they're so worried about men leaving the game, which you already know. It's because of what they've done. It's because men are tired of their bullshit. But we're going to talk more about it in the comments. Let me know what you think about this in the comments and the fact that a lot of women are now regretting feminism outright. Okay? That's all I have for you guys today. Like the video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you like the video, share the video. And just remember that all roads lead to MWA, men walking away. And cheers.